Hey everyone, it's your boy Matt with ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. All 16 participants of the second semi-final have rehearsed for the second time now. We were given the clips available on YouTube, the actual camera work, and even though it's only a glimpse into the performances and the overall package, we still want to talk about it just for a couple of minutes, and then I will also share with you my personal winners of the day, or the days, because these rehearsals were spread over 2 days. So basically, before I get started, please hit that like button if you don't mind, and subscribe if you're new to this, because there's so much more Eurovision content coming your way, especially over the next few weeks. It's going to be busy. Thank you very much. Okay, let me go through the 16 performances real quick, and then at the end I'll share with you who I thought really surprised me. Let's talk Eurovision. So the first country up was Malta, opening this semi-final, and it's a girl bop, and honestly, in a nutshell, good impression on my part. Malta, not many talk about Loop, one of the more slick rehearsal clips we've seen actually over the last few days, I would say. Of course, we only get a clip, and it's of course the dance break. As always, I'm tired of them. The dance break is always my least favorite part of the song, because why bother? In terms of visuals, the blindfold that they're using is a fun little element and gimmick. Not sure if it's really needed and adds too much to the whole song, but I don't mind it either. It's not a deal breaker. Some crazy moves with the dancers flipping her upside down and around. We get splits by her, and we get some horns. We get a lot of stuff. Honestly, I know people hate it when we do this, but you can't help it. It is reminiscent of certain songs and entries of Eurovision in the past, and I'm sure that it's not unintentional. Now, this girl bop, this is a heavy year full of girl bops, and Malta is doing everything that they can do to stand out. The question is if it's going to be enough. But so far, I think it looks really good, and it is opening the show. It might set the tone, so that is a good advantage to have, but will people remember it at the end of the night? So Malta, I like, and while the country is currently second to last in the betting odds in terms of qualifications, that is, I personally don't think they're completely out of the running either. And then the next country on the list is Albania, and Besa, she changed her outfit from the first rehearsal, and it's the right choice. It is way less confusing or distracting. The other one was very distracting. The staging, there are dancers around her and a bunch of half-naked dancers on top of the screen, the LED screen as well. We get to see a lot of skin this year, I've noticed, in the contest, which is a family-friendly contest, but I don't care. It's just noticeable this year, right? Or is it just me? Besa, I will say that she has consistently good vocals. She's a really good vocalist. The LEDs I've seen so far in the short little snippet and the pictures, a lot of them are pretty nice, especially like there's this one on the floor where hands are reaching for her from all different directions, and it's really cool. And there's some other nice visuals that I can appreciate. I just don't think that the staging, which is simple, I guess, is going to make the song stand out more, which is in the first place itself very simple. So Albania is at their best, in my view, when they send songs that have Albanian-induced traditional vibes or sounds and elements. And this is not something that we have here. It's a pretty beige song, in my view. It's an album filler, that's what I would call it, and not the standout single. And I don't think I'm going to change my opinion on Albania's odds of qualification based on what I've seen today or in the rehearsals so far. Then Greece, also a big question mark here still in terms of what's going to happen. We hear all these rumblings about this one camera shot for 3 minutes, and then this TikTok-inspired staging, if you will. Very little of that really comes across in the snippets and the TikTok and the pictures that we have seen so far, which makes Greece a little bit of a wild card, which is kind of fun, but also a little nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. It's such a fun entry, and I like some of the elements that I've seen so far in the staging, the handkerchief twirling and all of that. Done before, but it works every single time. And Marina's connection to the camera is good as well, so that's a good thing. So far, I don't think that the colors that are shown are as striking as I wanted to be for this particular performance. So we'll see about the rest. Very little of that really comes across in the clip, at least. That's my thinking. So they're keeping keeping things under wraps as well until we get to see the full performance during the dress rehearsals, I guess. Still, Greece is an obvious qualifier, so this should not concern anybody. I'm just waiting for some more fireworks, metaphorically, not literally, of course. And here to be completely on board with the staging. Next up, Switzerland. You know, lots of opinions out there on Switzerland staging, as well as the wardrobe choices, and I said it before, I like the pink color contrast with the dark staging. We finally get to see the platform a little bit in action when it spins and then bends backwards, and it's giving a little bit of Matrix, the movie, vibes, you know, like with the way he bends. Now, and most importantly, they sound good, and really good, actually. I think there is room for improvement in terms of some of the camera work. I wish they'd use more smoke effects as well on the floor, that we wouldn't see the stand or the machinery that comes with a platform that they bring along. The videos that are wide shots, I focus on like the bottom part of the thing and I'm like, ooh, what is that? And that shouldn't be the case, but maybe it's just a minor thing. Switzerland is taking a risk, kind of what they did in 21 with the staging, and clearly that worked out in their favor. And so many people got raged by the elaborate staging, and once again they came third overall, first in the jury vote. So come on, it's working. That's why I'm also quite optimistic about this one. Judging this prematurely would be a mistake. Absolutely. There are 3 minutes of visuals coming out. It's a 3-minute experience, not just a quick teaser kind of thing. This needs to be a whole 3 minutes. So I'm excited to see the rest. Who's next? Oh, yes, Czechia. And let me get the negative thing out of the way. Not that I'm trying to be negative, but I'm just not a fan of the outfit. Bragate, I call it. I know it's an illusion, but I can't help but look every single time on stage. I'm like, can I see it? I think we can all see it, right? So, but I digress. Yes, I said at the very beginning, don't pay attention to really what's happening in the national final in Czechia, because the sound quality is so bad and people were freaking out about it. And from what I listened to right now, you didn't learn your lesson. It sounded good to me. I think the vocals were pretty good. I will say it's not what I envisioned this to look like, this grunge-inspired song from what I've seen so far. But at the same time, I also like what I'm seeing. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. It's pretty dark lighting, not half as dark and bad as I thought it was going to be, though. So that's good. When I saw the pictures at least, and it makes sense to be darker. You know, the song cannot have colorful pink colors. It's no secret that I really like the song. I said it before, and it sounds just great to me. It really does. While I still believe that this is an uphill battle for Czechia in terms of qualification, this is solid. This is solid effort by them, and the staging as well as the visualization. Say that 3 times fast, my friends. At least based on what little bit we've seen so far, I'm good. Austria. Effective staging. That's all I can say. It's the warehouse feel that we kind of were expecting, appropriate for the song. Kaleen has backup track support as well as backing vocals, I think, and it is needed. It's a very dancey song, and the number is, you know, you need the support, the vocal support there, since she is the sing is not maybe the strongest suit here, and there's a lot of moving going around, and there were some shaky moments I've noticed vocally, but it didn't really bother me or affect me in any shape or form, because the track and it was more full and rich, the sound, that it was okay. It was okay. It did not take me out of the moment. At least from it's not a deal breaker. I would prefer even like more flawless vocals, but as a televoter, I don't think it would bother me too much. It's another of these so-called girl bops this year, but it has a 90s rave dance twist to it, and that makes it stand out by itself. There is going to be a lot of nostalgia for the young Gen X and the millennials out there. There are plenty of us out there, so don't ignore us. This is an effective staging in my view, and so far I'll say mission accomplished. Austria. Denmark looks good. It looks good. I mean, the pictures we saw as well as the TikTok clips were quite impressive. We didn't get to see all of that in this clip as well that was provided. It's very much in line with what we saw in the national final. I think this was the last 30 seconds of the song or close to it. So the ending is a bit anticlimactic for me. I was hoping for a bigger wow factor at the end, I guess. Though people would like remember this instantly. Right now, it still sounds good though, and I will need to see the full product to completely get excited, so we can see some of these sound effects that we previously like through her hands and in the backdrop and the LEDs. So right now, this is a bit of an okay, not too much to add here right now. Talk about Armenia. This is what I want from Eurovision. Absolutely. Traditional, unique folk songs that I don't get to hear anywhere else. And I love these boxes of the plinth setup. And it's an active and immersive experience to me. The singer is interacting with the camera, which means interacting with the audience, making us part of the experience. And the song is so appropriate. Those were the shortest 30 seconds ever. I was not ready to let go of this one. I like the yellow-orange color scheme on there. It's just fun and lots of dance numbers, loud music, and depressing songs this year. And this is just warm, unapologetic, fun experience. People will flock towards this one, the Jako song. I'm a fan. It just hits right in the right place, I think, and it stands out from the rest of the pack. This kind of music would have done well in 2009, I think, and would do well in 2024. It's a little bit of a timeless effort, I guess. And with the added visuals we saw in the clip, Armenia just increased the odds of getting a good result in my book. And clap, clap, clap. I know not everyone agrees with me, maybe, but that's how it came across to me. Latvia. Don's voice, first of all, it's unique and it sounds really good. Up my alley completely. My problem, though, is the staging doesn't make much sense to me. I'm not sure what the storytelling is here and what they're trying to get accomplished. We get a ring prop, right? We have that. I'm still trying to figure out what the purpose and the idea of that behind is. I get it. It's hollow. Yeah. Just kind of just, oh, look, we brought a prop. No, that's not good enough. I guess based on the pictures and the clips that we have seen, there's a bit of a disconnect for me there between the song and the staging. It's also a bit static. Don's is such a humble and warm guy. I wish he would just let loose a little bit and let us in a bit more, rather than there's a little bit stiffness going on. At least that's how I perceive it. I find it's a bit difficult to access the song and the song from an emotional level, if you know what I mean. A lot of the people don't care for Don's outfit. Personally, I don't have an issue with it, like especially like the breastplate we were saying. But again, it goes back to, I don't know why he's wearing that. It's a bit random why he's wearing it. Again, direction, storytelling is a bit off for me here and all over the place. And I really want this to be in the final. That's why I'm saying this thing. It's a good song, y'all. And the voice is good. And we have no juries in the semi. That's why I'm a little bit more nervous. So yeah, that's what I got on Latvia. Now San Marino, different story. Say what? This is how you stage a song, y'all. Put your personal feelings aside from the composition, right? The song itself. We got the first 30 seconds, and from the very beginning, we're hooked. It starts out calmly and peaceful, like Pink Dorothy in Kansas, just to be swept into Oz with a crazy pink-yellow brick road behind her, except it's not brick. It's a creepy backup creatures showing up, camera is tilting, and just already so much character and stage presence from the very get-go, from the lead singer. I'm obsessed with her, and this will grab people's attention from the very first second, and will have such an impact the first 30 seconds. We all want to see more. I can only imagine what the remaining 2.5 minutes will look like. Oh man, San Marino's absolutely in contention to qualify. Absolutely. I don't be fooled to think otherwise. It's not a Eurovision friendly song, Eurovision bubble friendly song, I should say, and this kind of genre usually isn't, but there is a market for out there, and it's just walked up a little bit in my predictions, a notch or two. We got next, Georgia. Georgia. My initial issue with Georgia's entry was, by the way, it wasn't sticking with me. I just kept forgetting about it. I have a hard time remembering the song, the melody, or anything. But what I saw today, I will not forget. So it's impossible, even if you tried. Yet it's another dance break With fire this time, plenty of hair flipping, yeah, BA. It's something we have maybe seen before, many times at Eurovision. But there's a reason why we've been seeing it, because it works. And so I personally will say I'm still struggling coming up with a melody in my mind of the song. No, na na na. That I remember. But that's about it. But I will not forget the visuals. And that is also counting for something. I do remember Nutsa's voice as well. Very strong vocals. So my biggest issue is the lack of memorable composition, which worries me about qualification. But this is right now the... how am I going to say? It's right up the Eurovision bubble taste again, this one. And the mainstream bubble as well, I think. This has a lot of mainstream appeal as well, which is what you need. It is current. It's a current fad, at least I should call it. And it's working well. It's absolutely working well. As long as it's done and executed effectively, I can appreciate it as well. And this seems like a fun thing. I think Georgia is doing exactly that. And why it's not breaking new grounds or is the most impressive, like never seen before staging, that's not what they're going for. I think it's effective and it'll only help Georgia. And I think they absolutely are a candidate for qualification. This is going to be a bloodbath, man. There's so many people fighting for these spots, including Georgia. Now let's talk about Belgium next on the list, and I'm rooting for Mustii big time. It's a good song. We got a clip from like the last part of the song, the big "before the party is over," and even with the interesting staging, this part is just repetitive to me, and I don't think that the clip that I saw makes it less repetitive. I wish Belgium would have brought along backup singers for this one to make the backtrack more prominent or more gospel-y or something a little bit more, make it stand out. Right now, it's just not energetic enough. I understand the recording and these are all the fans singing, all of that stuff. I really like the first 2 minutes of the song, which I didn't get to see here, so I cannot speak to that. The last part of the song is in front of the microphone stands, right in front of it, not behind it. And I almost wish they could have just rolled it off, because now I'm just always looking at the stands behind them, the microphones. I find them distracting, but that's just me. It still looks good, though, and it's not a bad staging. So despite the things that I pointed out, because I'm just worried about the last minute, I mean. And Mustii's voice was good. It was good. He gives me some glam rock vibes with that outfit as well, and I'm here for that. So another country definitely up there for qualification. The second half will battle it out. That's for sure. That's where the big hitters are in my book. Estonia, Nendest, it's a fun entry. I'm just having so much fun listening to this. Unapologetic fun. And the choreography looks like we're just doing our own thing here, and it almost feels unrehearsed, but we all know everything is rehearsed to a T at Eurovision. And that's a compliment, not as an insult, because sometimes certain performances feel over-rehearsed and they come across as pretentious at times. I totally don't get that here. I will say that the camera shots, though, looked, in this clip at least, they were too far out at times that made the stage almost look empty, even though we had 6 people on there. And it's maybe more just a minor complaint. It doesn't bother me as much. I just don't know that was something that stood out to me. I just don't know if the staging itself, though, will win over doubters or those who don't care about the song. But I don't think that's what they're going anyway. They're delivering to the crowd that they know, that the audience that will go for it. So again, the 30-second snippet doesn't give us enough, and that is a recurring theme, obviously. So, but overall, I still liked it. I actually liked it quite a bit. Then Israel also rehearsed today for the second time. By the way, in case you didn't realize, the first semi has 15 participants, the second semi has 16 participants, so it's technically more difficult to make it to the grand final in this one. So if, I was one of the participants, I would have preferred to be in the first one, but that's just a little side note here. Also rehearsing today for the second time, Norway, and I got really excited when I saw the TikTok clip and the pictures, but especially the TikTok clip. There's this really cool water effect splashing across all the LED, and it was around the lead singer, almost like she was in the center and actually controlling the water. In this clip that we saw today, I didn't get to see that particular effect, and not what I wanted to see. It basically could have been a clip from the national final. That's just how I felt. And I mean, if you like the song and that is good enough for you, I think they did exactly what they're supposed to, and you will be satisfied. For someone like me who kind of struggles a little bit to get like into the song a whole lot, I can say that this clip itself was like some sort of tipping point for me, at least. Now, I'm hoping there is more, and I know there will be more. Her voice cracked in a couple of places as well, and for some reason, where in usual cases I'd be like, oh, it almost worked in the song, because it's that kind of song. It has like a Björk vibe to it, because Björk often, her voice cracked as well, but it kind of worked for her style. So Norway didn't underwhelm or overwhelm me. They mostly just whelmed me, and I mean, I really want to see the guy throwing his guitar up in the air. Those were some really cool moments, but most people have never seen or heard of the staging, so what I wanted to see, it may not even be really that important overall. But yeah, so overall, that's where I'm at with Norway. And then last and not least, the Netherlands. The clip that they gave us, really? Are you serious? That's what we're getting? You gave us the part where he speaks at the very end in Dutch, and it gave us basically nothing. It gave us nothing. They're so keeping their cards close to the chest. They're even willing to drop in the betting odds a lot. That's how they want to just keep this to themselves, whatever's going to happen. But I also get the feeling that the team knows what they're doing. There's a lot of confidence out there, and there's a lot more to come. The ending obviously wants you to feel used, obviously, and how the loss of his father, and this case his parents, affected him. It really comes down to, can people immediately switch from this, oh look, a 90s dance song with a dancing blue bird and crazy LEDs, and now showing empathy all of a sudden? It's a pretty dramatic switch, and it's a risk, an absolute risk, and I really hope it is going to pay off for the Dutch team. But I can't really say anything else about the Dutch entry because we didn't see anything. So I'm just going to shut up and move on. So 16 performances, I will give you my 3 winners. Now keep in mind, winners is very broad term because we haven't seen it all and it's only a rehearsal, but more like those who surprised me the most so far, pleasantly. And yeah, I just had to point those out. The top 3 I put, again, that doesn't mean they're my favorite songs, but I really enjoyed what I experienced here. In 3rd place, I'm putting Switzerland, and I just like the artsiness of this effort. I don't know how to explain it. Similar to 21, different staging, of course, but the idea is just visually very striking, and I'm just so intrigued about everything else that's going to happen during those 3 minutes, because we haven't seen anything yet either. So I was quite impressed. The country I'm putting in number 2 actually is Armenia, and it's a warm, cheerful, little likable thing. Love the staging, and only downside was you could tell that they were holding back on energy because she was just walking rather than energetic. It was like a very casual stroll rather than a brisk walk that we need energetic. So, but it's a rehearsal, that's why I can easily look past that. I know some people have different opinions about the staging apparently, but I don't care. I really, really liked it. Absolutely. Armenia, you did wonderful. And then the country I'm putting in 1st place, biggest surprise, impressed, is San Marino. I know, the tiniest country, the most visually striking, impressive rehearsal. And this is not a prediction video, as I told you, but which rehearsal impressed me the most, or surprised me the most. And hands down, it's little tiny San Marino, who just really is coming for the qualification. And I love this moment. I love these moments at Eurovision where just like, whoa, what is this? You always think we have seen it all, but every year they're going to come out with something more creative, certain countries. And San Marino is right there with them. Very happy with San Marino. So there you have it. Those are my comments and winners of semifinal 2 second rehearsal. And I'm sure with so many songs in the running, you have different favorites and different thoughts, and that is okay. Leave them below in the comment section. I will read them. I cannot wait to hear from you. And thank you for watching this video. I will see you next day, because we are now moving on to rehearsal day number 8, if I'm not mistaken. Well, all right. I'll talk to you in the next video.